Hello. I wanted to come up with a way to describe what it is that I've seen happen with friends. It happened to me once. I watched this happen. And that is, aside from the poor treatment the narcissist inflicts upon us, aside from that making us wonder why we chose this person and why can't I get away from this person, aside from that part of it, there could also be an entire leg of the truth, which is you may have changed. You may have changed. And I had to look at that because I wasn't making room for that. I kept thinking, I need to leave this person. They're doing this. Oh my God, why can't I get out? And we know why we can't get out. We wait, we hope, we pray, But then I started to look at it and think, and okay, let me back up. If you're somebody who's 45 and you met your husband at 25, that's more likely to be the case, right? Maybe if we get older, people's tastes shift. We hear about it all the time. They grew apart, people get divorced, they move on, they find other people that are more suited to them because they're not the same person at 45 that they were at 25. I'm not even talking about that very easily explainable change that can happen, okay? I'm talking about even if you're going out with somebody for a year, and here's the year, and you've been through this turmoil, and they're a narcissist, and you can tell, and that you're suffering, and they're torturing you sufficiently, and you're trying to get out. Minnie, stop. She's licking her paw. And you're trying to get out, and you can't. But now you find yourself, you're actually looking at them going, oh, ew, like I can't eat. Like I was looking at my narcissist like I can't even believe I went on a second date with this person. I don't know who I was. I couldn't see it. I could not even imagine that I went on a second. So, what I determined that to be was not so much that I changed my mind on what I wanted. I was not clear on what I wanted. And it could be anything in between. But we have to make room for that change might be coming to us, separate from them. If you can't picture leaving your narcissist for all the reasons that we've discussed, love bombing and all this, look at yourself. You might have changed your mind about the kind of person you want to be with. You might not even be attracted to this person anymore. And it might be something in you that wants to now, not win him or her, but win the battle. You put in your blood, sweat, and tears. You want this to have a happy ending. Somehow. Right? We hold out for that. But maybe you've changed your mind and your idea of what the perfect mate is. Maybe your whole idea has now shifted as to what would be the perfect mate because of the education you've picked up from this horrible relationship. Maybe before you used to think it'd be great to meet a guy who takes care of everything and who's in charge. Maybe this was your type. You want an alpha who takes care of everything. Guess what? You found one. He ended up being a narcissist. You don't like this anymore. Maybe you're saying to yourself, you know what? I don't like this. I tried it on. It doesn't fit. I don't like it. I'm going to embark on a journey now of a more equal. Now you're thinking, maybe I want somebody more of an equal. Or maybe you've had equal, and now you want an alpha. My point is this. Look at it from all aspects. I realized that what I thought I wanted in a mate, what I thought would be the perfect mate, isn't. I don't want what I thought I wanted. My idea of the perfect person for me has now shifted tremendously because of lessons I learned directly from the narcissist. I have not only learned what I don't want in the relationship, I've learned what I need to have present in the relationship. I've learned what I absolutely will not do without. I've learned what I absolutely positively will not put up with. The idea of your perfection for you is, of course, different than the next person. So we need to be careful, right, when discussing this with family and friends and even listening to this very video that I'm making. That's why I'm being very careful how to word this. What's perfect for me might not be perfect for you. You might have a friend who's extremely happy in her life and you just don't get it because you see her husband is very controlling and very much in charge of it. She might like that. She might need that. She might want that. She might be very happy. Sounds like torture for you. Maybe you're a very strong, independent, you want to be the alpha, maybe. The point is, we have to assess it and see if there's truth in it in order to fully be able to honestly answer the question to ourselves of what we even want. It's not all on the narcissist. Their behavior is, that's all their fault, how they treated you, that's on them. But I'm saying breaking away from a narcissist or reassessing your narcissist, if you might break away from them, it's not all about, we always think them, what they did to us, how they behaved, Give your own temperament some proper mind. Pay it proper mind and give it some time to assess, you know what? I'm not even attracted to him anymore. Make room for that. You don't want to go back on your own word of having valued this person. You don't want to go back on that. But you could to yourself. Sit quietly. I look at my narcissist now like I was slumming it for a while. Hand to God. And I told him that. I was slumming it for a while. I'm not doing that anymore. Goodbye. I don't want a hood rat who behaves this way. To me, I liken their behavior to that level of scum. Like, no, I don't want that in my life. You're not good enough for me with that behavior. And I don't talk like that to anybody. You're not good enough for me. That behavior, not good enough for me. I don't want, at first you might think, oh, but he's a little bit like of a punk, or the whole like girls like bad boys, like that whole adage that's been forever in literature and movies. You get old enough, I don't want anything to do with that. That's not my problem. But that is many girls, they like that. Maybe you don't anymore. Maybe you're dating one who's a narcissist, this bad boy persona, and you realize, you know what, I'm not really attracted to that anymore. I want a grown man. I want a grown man. The idea of your perfect mate may have shifted, is my point. And if you look at your person that you're with now, man, woman, 20 years, 30 years, 1 year, make room for the possibility that part of the issue in finding and assessing, finding your proper person and assessing your situation accurately might rest in your tastes may have flat out changed. We grow, we evolve, we're human beings, right? We grow, we evolve, we're human beings. And your entire focus of what you used to think is important may have shifted with age, right? Whether it's companionship, or some girls go out into the world and they seek financial security. Some men go out into the world and seek financial security from their partner. Some of us don't. We allow ourselves to get our financial security, and then we go out and try to seek a partner that we just want to be with. But whereas you used to, idealize the most, intelligent person in the world, and now you know what? You'll take someone who just is street smart and has a good head on their shoulders. Or vice versa. You used to be attracted to somebody who's street smart, and now you're like, you know what? I don't care if they know the street. I just want someone who can carry on a conversation with me. There's all different possibilities. The point is, look at it. Look at my idea shifted of the perfect mate. It did. I'm older. I went through this horrific experience. I had to reassess everything. And I really sat down, pen to paper. I'm a hard copy girl, pen to paper, and I wrote it out. And I realized that what I had thought I was looking for had nothing to do with what I wanted. What I thought I was looking for had nothing to do with where I want to land with a person. The kind of person with whom I see myself is no longer the same kind of person that I saw myself. My idea shifted. Mine. Aside from when you go through with somebody, aside from their faults, look at your own decision making and look at your own taste and allow for that. Many times people with conviction, and I have conviction, my belief system's pretty solid. I have conviction in my belief system, even though I'm open-minded and I'm always open. Change my mind. I always tell people, change my mind. I learned that from my dad. He would say, change my mind. Now, you can't change his mind, but he would say it. Change my mind. This is what I believe. What's your opinion? Change my mind. So I'm open in that way. So I try to approach reassessing what I thought I wanted with the same openness. And with the same, maybe I've changed my mind. Make room for that. It's not the end of the world, but I've always loved this kind of person, and I've always seen myself with this kind of person, and I always thought I'd end up with this kind of person. Okay, well, guess what? Things change. I'm different at 54 than I was at 24. Right? You're different after marriage than you were before marriage. You're different after children than you were before. You're different after a narcissist than you were before the narcissist. You will never, ever be the same person post-narcissist as you were pre-narcissist. There's an innocence that's shattered. If you never knew these kinds of people existed before, that's gone. I have the education now. I know these people exist. I have the education. I've seen it. I can't go back to where I don't see it now. So now I look out for things, I look for signs, I'm paying attention in the world. And I feel that when we do that and make room for the fact that our idea might have changed, it can help us alleviate the pain of losing that relationship. He's not what I wanted anyway. He's not what I wanted. Even if he turned out not to be a narcissist, that is not the man that I want in my life. There's a lot about him. Forget his narcissism. That's not who I even wanted. But with the love bombing and how strong they come on, boy, you think you want that person. That's who you kind of start to... They convince you that you wanted something you didn't even know that you wanted. And it gets you all flipped around. My advice, take a moment, however many moments it takes. You sit yourself down in quiet solitude and you ask yourself, if you had a catalog and you could plug in, not a catalog, nowadays it's computers. If you could plug in filters of the exact kind of person that you want in your life, would it be the person, forget the narcissism, would it even be the mate that you have? Would it even be the mate that you have? Has your idea changed away from that? We get so caught up in, I wanted to win this narcissist. I wanted to not win like a competition. I wanted to win meaning absolutely make him see I loved him, like I said. Absolutely make him see the bliss and the joy that you can get from having a fruitful well-functioning relationship. I wanted to win that for him, for me, for him, for me. I wanted to have that happen. I got so caught up in that and dealing with the narcissism and, you know, going through the murk and the muck and I forgot to even look at, do you even like this guy? Renee, do you even like him? Look at him. Watch him. Listen to him. Watch him with other people. Do you even like him? I mean it. And I started to look like, ew. A girlfriend of mine from Rhode Island does that the best. Ew. She has a real strong ew, she does. And that's what I'm thinking of right now. Ew. That's not who I wanted. But I thought he was all that in a bucket of chicken when I was in the middle of it. All that in a bucket of chicken. Now I look at him, he's not even a wing. Like there's nothing, there's no substance. There's nothing about that person. Now I can see it clearly at all about that person that I would want in my life, that I would want to join with, that I would want to land with. There's nothing redeeming about that person. There's nothing redeeming about the family member narcissist I discussed a few videos ago. There's nothing redeeming about that family member narcissist that makes me want to be in their life. They don't add value to my life at all. I changed my mind. I changed my mind. That doesn't mean you're losing your conviction. That doesn't mean you're turning on yourself or betraying what you thought you wanted. You changed your mind. You woke up. You grew. There's lots of reasons we can change our perspective on the mate that we think is perfect. And allow yourself to experience and feel and know and learn all of them. Because it's important. It's important. And it could be just the thing that brings you over the edge into your own enlightenment when it comes to that person in your life. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.